yesterday, I think on what's it, Blue Sky or I don't know, social media, wherever you follow James Gunn, he posed the question: if DC Studios was to produce a TV Christmas special starring one or more of our DC characters in the tradition of the Guardians holiday special, who would you want it to be? So a few hours before we started went live here, I put this on our chat and I asked the guys to think of something. So I came up with something and I have kind of a quick pitch. So I'll tell you guys my thoughts and then you guys we can go around the horn.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, I don't want to go traditional Christmas. So then I was like, who's a character that would be kind of weird? And I ended up picking
Atari Force.
no, even maybe better or worse. I don't know. Vic Sage, the question.
What?
Hold on.
I'm in.
Hold on. Listen to my pitch. In my pitch, in this holiday special, Christmas is gone,
Yeah.
and the only one that still believes in Christmas is the question, and he has to find a way to get it back because he knows it's real and something happened in the world where Christmas went away, but he knows it's a conspiracy and he
Oh,
has
I
to
love
uncover
it.
that and get Christmas back.
Holy
So there's
shit.
a
I love that idea.
so there's a Hallmark Christmas movie that's
Oh my
very
god! Of
similar.
course there is.
It's not quite that, but there is a starring Rachel Lee Cook where she makes a wish or something at the beginning
Does
of the
she take off her
movie.
glasses and then you're like, oh, she's hot?
Oh yeah, she's hot. And then at some point, everybody on the planet forgets Christmas, and so she has to figure out. She's the only one
It,
that remembers, and she has to figure out how
I
to
don't
get
know
it
if I
back.
want. I almost kind of maybe want it to be like Santa Claus comes to the question and asks him to save Christmas because he's the only one that remembers. And a lot of it is inspired because, or that piece of it is like we just got the new Santa Claus Silent Night issue this week,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, oh, that would be so cool because it's like the question is like probably the least Christmas character, but then remembering to the episodes on Justice League Unlimited, like he's always got all these conspiracies and things going on. So I'm like, yeah, what if something somehow took Christmas away from everyone? But that's just a conspiracy, and that was my pitch. So maybe we'll send this over to James Gunn, and I'll get hired on as a consultant.
Hey, we would all be consultants. Team
That's
next
right.
issue.
So all right, Clay, you have a character or a pitch or anything like that?
Yes. I want a team to go back in time to Christmas now. And I'm torn between the two teams that I want because I kind of would like to see the Legion of Superheroes, but not the kid version. The one that Giffen did, I believe it was in the 80s, where they're all adults and it's just called Legion. Like, and it's a little darker series. I kind of love the idea of the Legion kids being older and at some point traveling back in time to witness Christmas here before the DCU starts. So I would, but then I also thought an interesting tie-in that I would love to see maybe more would be the Legends of Tomorrow, the CW show, and all that crew shows up back in time because they've been traveling in the future. They come back to celebrate Christmas at the beginning of a new universe, and that's the DCU. And so I would love to see all those characters come back, the Captain, Ray, everyone, um, just to because I've always had this theory about Captain Cold. When Captain Cold kills himself in the series, and then we just have Heatwave the rest of the time, I believe Captain Cold pulled a trick and is traveling through time and has always been trying to make the best life for Heatwave. And so I always want that friendship to be rekindled. And
Yeah.
so I would love that to be the tied up story is that Heatwave finally discovers that Captain Cold is still alive and he's been traveling through time, making his life better. And that's kind of his Christmas gift. If you use the legends. But I love the idea of like, yeah, Christmas is dead in the future, but I also love the idea of like kind of nipping the bud in nostalgia because we're sold so much nostalgia nowadays that they come back and they don't, and it's not quite as good as they remember it, but it's the idea of it. And it's kind of explained that way. It's like you believe things were better back then, but it's just the idea of it because you didn't have the same pressures you have now as life goes on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd love to see either the Legion, the adult Legion, or the Legends of Tomorrow from the TV show. I'd love to see Ray again. I watched a Hallmark movie with the actor's name that played Ray in Superman.
Oh, Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh in it, just because he was in it, because I think Brandon Routh is great. So
Personal friend of the show now.
Huh?
Personal friend of the show, Brandon Routh.
Personal friend of the show. Yeah, I mean, he's great. I know his wife does Hallmark movies and stuff, but I still think he is the perfect Superman Kingdom Come. Like, I loved when he showed up at the end of the CW series as the Kingdom Come Superman. So I'd love to see Brandon Routh return, and that would be a great nod. Maybe have him as the Kingdom Come Superman as part of the Legends team.
Oh, or the Batman Beyond Superman too. He's a little older, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could really. I mean, for me personally, if I saw the Legends team, I'd want to see White Canary, Ray,
Heatwave, and
Steel, Heatwave. I don't know. I love that friendship in there. So that's really, the bigger thing for me.
Oh, and Constantine, of course.
Yes.
We gotta have Constantine.
But I would love for them to have that shot. You know how they always have that shot in a lot of the Silver Age comics where all the heroes are in their costume, gathered around the dinner table, having Thanksgiving or Christmas together. And it's usually I know there's an Alex Ross one where Batman's outside the window looking in at all the heroes decorating a tree and stuff. I would love that to be like the Legends or Legion, looking in and seeing all the heroes doing that scene at the end of the episode, because that's, to me, always iconic to see the superheroes celebrating Christmas together in their costumes, because that's what DC did.
Yeah.
That was their thing.
Nice. All right. Jeff, what about you? What's your pitch? What's your idea there? Who do you want to see?
I think I've got a few ideas, but for ease of we've already got a cast set and everything. If you were really going to do this, then I would do a Blue Beetle thing. Because you already got your family kind of oriented. You could be hey, Scarab, let me teach you about Christmas kind of thing. Or, I can already what is Christmas? Oh, well, we got to go figure it out or whatever kind of thing. And then hijinks or whatever. But since you already have that family cast and that family dynamic, I think James Gunn likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like an easy shoe to just slip on kind of thing. Pitching for just originality again. I think James a Doom Patrol Christmas would be kind of cool.
Oh my god!
Shit! Why did I miss them? Oh,
and again, that feels like something that right up James Gunn's alley. This again, a story about found family during Christmas versus real family kind of thing.
A very Weasel Christmas with just Weasel.
I also think a Swamp Thing Christmas would be fun because everything's Christmas trees, but and Swamp Thing is I think he'd probably be against chopping down trees, but
he could make a Christmas tree.
A moss Christmas tree or something, whatever. Also, it takes you out of normally your Christmas shows are not in the in the swamp, so you could have a swampy Christmas. I think that would be kind of fun. I don't have any specific ideas for them, but
yeah.
But just this kind of the germs of ideas that I would love to see.
When you said that, Jeff, I thought of Blue Beetle. I was like, there's an episode of Justice League Unlimited where I think it's Young Justice maybe, or I don't know, one of the two, where the Flash has to run across the country to deliver a heart because there's a freeze. There's a freeze in all of the country. And maybe it doesn't have to be so serious like that. Maybe it's just the Flash or somebody has to get home for Christmas. So when you said Blue Beetle, I was like, oh, maybe Blue Beetle has to get home for Christmas, and then throughout his journey, he teaches the Scarab about Christmas and why he's really trying to make it there. But obviously, a lot of things keep happening to stop that from happening.
So would you just have Blue Beetle, the existing Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, and the original all show up together?
Maybe at the end kind of thing, where you kind of
throughout the journey, right? It's I want to see the Zolo reprise the role.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to even Booster Gold can show up. More the merrier.
Oh, Yeah, I
So-
feel like he needs to. If he needs
Yeah.
to go on a journey, he's going to need to go with his friend.
So, all right. Well, those are our pitches for a Christmas special with DC characters.
Yeah, trim
James
this
Gunn,
and send
call
this
us.
to James Gunn so we can get a consulting gig.
That's right. We're available. We'll make
I'm
time.
available.
We'll make the time for James Gunn. Okay. Let's get into some of the stuff
But
that
it's
we
got to be
did.
fast because I got Spielberg on the other line over here.
Yeah, right.
We're consulting on Transformers 2
I saw,
right now.
yeah,